5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Edge Radio. It's Edge Radio Australia, time for The Ordinary Guy, and he's had another haircut, so I don't know how ordinary you are. You're a bit of a fashionista, a bit of a statement, a man about town.
I'm just trying to find where I fit in this world.
Oh, dear, mate. Well, you've always been a bit of a square peg with those round holes, and I think that's one of the best things, best compliments I can ever pay someone, mate. It's good that you don't fit in. It is good to see you. Of course, Brendan Quartermain.
It's every day you've got to look at yourself and present yourself to the world.
You sure? And can I get a skinny mirror then?
Yeah.
Okay, if I want to do that? All right, okay, just want to check.
If we're consciously aware of our space, are we consciously aware of our environment? Then are we consciously aware of our spiritual environment as well?
Dude, that's deep. That's very deep. We're in a few seconds and you've gone that deep already. No. I thought we were going to talk about the building industry, but no.
No, but I'm having my gripe though.
Oh, mate, have your gripe, because this is how we open the show now.
Absolutely.
Okay? This is the good bit. Let's get into it now. What is cheesing you off this week?
Well, I'll never change the GST. I'll never change the what do you call that other thing? The capital gains tax.
Whoa.
And we'll never ever tax a death tax.
Hey.
But,
look, my
mate,
word is my bond, mate. Okay, come on.
Lie,
Jeez.
Man, the guy couldn't lie straight in bed.
He really couldn't. Couldn't.
My plan today was to come here and teach people how to use the capital gains tax to your best advantage.
Okay, to your best advantage. And that's a really good point.
That was what I was coming here to do.
Well, that's what it's there for. It is there to encourage growth and so many positive things.
I'm going to share some history.
Okay.
Back in the day, right, in 1987,
sure,
I was only 21 years old.
Okay.
And I hate to use the word, but I love the word anyway. I was being groomed by the special auditor of the tax department here in Western Australia.
That's a building I didn't even want to go near, but okay, fine.
I helped him write a book,
okay,
a book called Thinking of Buying a Business.
Yep.
After you read the book, you literally wanted to slash your own wrist.
Okay,
it was shocking.
So positive, mate.
Oh,
Sounds
it
great.
was. It had all the negatives of why you want to be in business. It was good. And then Lloyd Callard was his name. He passed away,
right,
and left me standing there without unknowing where I wanted to go. But I was literally, I was doing my ACIP. I was studying.
What's ACIP?
Australian Certified Investment Planning. So yes, I have a planning background,
right? And
I for years worked for a company called Invest West Financial Planners.
Okay, and
I was one of the youngest directors and youngest up and coming stars, and I had a really good foundation in business.
Sure,
I was at the same time there was this committee going around, and we were studying negative gearing.
Okay,
back to how can we make negative gearing work for the people. You got to remember back in the day, we had a population of, wait for it, in WA, 970 million people.
Yeah, and
970.
I think you've got a decimal point there in the wrong spot.
970,000 people.
There we go.
We were about to go into the 1 million in Western Australia.
I remember it.
It was horrific. There was all this discussion. We can't have enough housing. The government's going to have to buy more housing. They're going to have to do more. And there was all this, how do we create this thing called negatively gearing?
Okay.
At the time, I'd understood the principles, and with a guy called, I think his name, George Papamarcus at the time, we were doing, you could borrow, put in $10,000 into a trust account,
okay,
and then borrow against it 10 times, and then negatively gear it against the thing.
Okay, I want to interrupt you here. This is the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay? 80s were very creative when it comes to the finance industry.
And that meant that you actually got 80% deduction off your income.
Okay.
So anyway, then the government came along and said, look, we want to talk to you about all this. It's really great what you're doing. And we sat down in a committee type structure, and there was a few high rollers in there from around Perth, and we talked about how to create negatively gearing.
Right.
The process of negatively gearing was that you got your income from the property, you offset it against your income that you got as wages and tax, and you're supposed to take that money and reinvest it in the house and reduce your mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Not West Australia. We all went to Bali. And it's just that we did.
Everybody got the tats to prove it.
That's
right.
right.
Absolutely.
They lived in that space, and they used that money for holidaying, and negatively gearing got a bad sour taste.
Yeah, no, I get that. But it was, I mean, okay, it was actually developed for a very positive reason, okay? And
we
it was
didn't
supposed
have enough housing.
That's right. It developed the housing industry. It also brought a lot of new investors into the market and spread the risk a bit.
At the time,
I'll just take this opportunity very, very quickly. For those who are jumping on board, I've already got the message coming up saying that people are making comments from other destinations we can't see. So if you'd love to have a comment or a question, we would love to hear from you. Best places to put through a comment is jump onto YouTube, watch us through YouTube. It's on live now, or the Edge Radio Australia Facebook page, which will be there for the next 30 days. But if you want to be part of the conversation now, they are the two best places. So if you're watching, say, for argument's sake, on my personal feed, Facebook don't like that, mate. Oh, no, they don't like that. So get on to the Edge Radio page, and I can actually literally see people changing over now, so I very much appreciate that.
And I must also let you know that I'm totally sponsored by the 1111 Ultra gold Australian gold coin. And, mate, is that thing going off today? It's going well.
Nice.
There's some massive news coming off of that. And
well, of course, we don't do financial advice here. No, you're just talking about your own story and education.
I'm just smiling from ear to ear right now.
Well, keep smiling. It's always a good thing.
That's it.
So, sorry, mate, I didn't mean to cut you short, but you were talking about I just wanted people to be involved if they could, but you want to be. But I think, like, okay, conversations are everything. Well, this is exactly what this is. So other people being involved in the conversation is a very positive thing. Now, the positive things that we're talking about with negative gearing, let's talk about it.
It helped an entire generation.
Yep.
You know, we kind of persecute them a little bit.
The boomers.
Yeah. I'm not a boomer. I'm the next one.
Yep. Gen X.
You know, we really stuffed up our children. Anyway, not a worry. We wrapped them in cotton wool. We looked after them. We taught them everything, and we're the ones that made, like, bikes out of scrap metal, go-karts out of
That's right. Like, we lived so well. Like, we were the last analog children. It was awesome.
But the baby, so I've come with this idea today of just sort of like giving a positive outcome for negatively gearing. I've now looked at the situation that we've got now with what we've done. They're saying that in 2027, July 2027, that's the end of buying an older house and negatively gearing it.
Sure.
That leaves that house open for investors. They say for first home buyers, not for investors, for first home buyers and for people that are coming in to the country. I'm not going to go into that.
Well, can we just really?
I'll come back to that in a second.
Right.
So what it's saying is that right now we have this other section of the act that's there, and it's called the grandfather clause.
Sure.
That means that if you're currently got a home and it's currently negatively geared,
sure,
you can keep that going on for eternity.
It's almost like it's been done by people who have already got money in the industry, mate. Just say.
Yeah, politicians are already there.
Yeah, it's funny that.
And I didn't say that.
No.
So what it means is that it'll come back to that philosophy that I have, and that's that to avoid capital gains tax, now to avoid GST, it's very simple.
What do we do?
Don't sell.
Don't sell? Okay. Reinvest in yourself pretty much, I guess.
Yeah. Don't sell that property. Work it to a point where it becomes positively geared.
Yep.
And positively geared properties means that you are this much closer to no longer having to work.
Yeah, which is what that's our goal, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So you want to live. Somebody said to me the other day, says, I can't wait. I'll be 65 shortly and I'll be able to retire.
Yeah.
And I said, what does that definition mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
The definition of retirement is access to government money. That's all it means.
I don't agree. I mean, hang on. You can retire much earlier if you've got the funds.
Money.
You've got exactly.
But this is why he stipulated when he turns 67 or 65.
Yeah.
He's got. That's all he's got is the access to government money. You can retire at 25.
Yeah,
providing you've got the money to keep you funding all the time.
I know people have done it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this concept of retirement is really just a part of the. Okay, if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail for a starter. That's phenomenal. But if you don't have a plan, don't stress, okay? Because society has one for you. It's basically work for 47 hours a week, 47 weeks of the year, for 47 hours a week, 47 weeks of the year for 47 years. That's what the outcome is.
Gee, mate, a little depressing. Come
yeah,
on.
but that's what, if you don't have a plan.
I totally agree, right? Don't disagree at all. I think, and also let's look at retirement in a different way. Like, I mean, I look at the thing, I'm a car guy, right? So, you see the guy who's, in his 80s driving his Ferrari, at 55 Ks an hour, okay? I don't want that. That's not retirement for me. He's worked so hard and he's finally bought his toy. Great and all. But retirement should be about living. So you should be able to, if you work hard and you work smart, you do it earlier when you don't have to wait till you're in your 80s to have that red car. You can get it in your 40s or whenever, right? You choose. But you control your own destiny. And this isn't about becoming rich and I don't know, the evils of the dollar. This is about buying yourself some freedom, buying yourself some opportunities. That's my thought.
This is going back in the 90s where we had skins. Is it skin?
Skin?
Yeah. Spend kids' inheritance.
Oh,
yeah. But we've exceeded that. As the wealth, we are predominantly the most wealthiest country in the world per head of population.
Right.
Nearly everybody is a millionaire now in their property value.
Yeah.
So, your property's worth $1 million.
That's right.
We were just having that conversation a minute ago. The US dollar is actually only worth, in reality, 3 cents.
Of what, when it was
when it first started to what it's worth today,
okay.
less than 3 cents. But they're all saying us, but it's worth 68 cents of Australian dollars or whatever it is, Well,
it's like the old thought of, okay, if that older people would put the money under the mattress, I'm saving it for a rainy day, all of that. Well, that money is just, because of inflation, worth less and less and less every single day. If you put that money away 10 years ago, $1,000, we'll just, pull that out. Okay, $1,000, what's it worth 10 years later?
Nearly 100.
Substantially less. Yeah. Your money is an asset that should be working for you, not against you.
You can't save yourself to wealth.
Yeah. Great point. I like that. Can we get that made into a T-shirt?
Yeah, you can't save yourself to wealth, and that's a reality.
Yeah.
So you must invest. You must put some money aside, whether it's in whatever it is that you invest in.
Okay.
But it's like a friend of mine the other day said to me, "I've just sold my house," and I said, "Oh, fantastic!" He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to downsize and get a smaller house, but I'm going to do it in a year's time." Right. And I said, "What are you going to do with the money over the year?" And he goes, "I'm just going to leave it in the bank. And it's going to be okay." I says, "You're not going to be able to afford a house in a year's time."
Yeah.
Even if it changes, even if the thing drops, we've got so many people still coming into the state. It's just horrific numbers.
And on that front, yes, so many people are coming into the state. That is a very big issue. And it's good old fashioned. It's a very complicated thing, economics. It's supply and demand, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my word. Why do we overcomplicate things? It's that simple. And if we do not have enough homes, then of course the demand goes up, the cost goes up. And if you keep importing people who just come and vote Labor and Greens, because that's what their entire reason for being is, that's why they're imported, that's why they make it easy for them, right? Easy. That's why the government that we've currently got is doing what they're doing. All you're doing is pushing your kids out of ever owning a home. You're pushing them out of the rental market, and you're pushing them into, I don't know, living above the garage. But that's what you're doing.
By changing the capital gains tax,
sure,
right now, they're actually doing that anyway.
I agree.
The people that have property, will quickly wake up that if they sell a property and buy another property to upgrade that property, they're not going to get eligible for the GST. So they're going to have to go and buy a new house, which means that it's going to take them 2 years for that to get built.
Yeah, great point.
And then 2 years without any taxable relief, it's going to cause a problem. So there's not going to have the effect. The cause and the effect should have been, people will then get out of, of their older houses, and they'll start buying new investments because they'll get the 2.5 depreciation on the new. And they've got none of that on the old.
Right.
And people, you're not going to be able to do that.
No.
It's not going to happen.
Now, the fact that we're having this conversation right here and right now, that when the budget was how long ago? 2 weeks?
No.
I don't know.
It feels like a year ago.
Well, why I mention that length of time is because normally, budgets come out, we all get angry about the budget, or if you fit into a particular social class, you're happy about the budget, whatever, right? So, but there's feelings, and we last about or maybe tops 3 days in the new cycle.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
This one is different.
Yeah.
This is an absolute attack on the social structure of this country. That's what it is. It is more of a separation between the haves and the have-nots. And this country, I judge a society very, very simply, right? I judge a society and how it treats its most vulnerable. And right now we've got a country which is treating its most vulnerable like filth.
Look, the baby boomers knew that they had to create income.
Mhm.
We were getting. I know I'm not a baby boomer, but
Yep.
I'm in 1965. Okay, so
Okay.
it's the border.
You are on the mark.
No, I'm on the
Yeah,
border.
there
You know, I can choose which one I want to be in.
Yep.
You know, I apologise, my phone.
That's all good.
So it's
It's carton. You know, every
a
time
carton.
it goes off, it's
Oh,
carton.
shit.
Okay? Yeah.
Oh.
Put it in silent. No, don't put it in silent. Okay, the fridge is empty.
Oh no, it's
yeah.
on airplane mode.
Mate, every beep is a carton. All right, there
All
we
right,
go.
every
All right.
time it rings,
Done.
that's it. I'm just going to put it on airplane mode and throw it out the door. There we go.
Done.
There's a few. You know, it's going to cause problems. But these baby boomers went out. They did the right thing. Then they bought properties in trust.
Sure.
So what people don't understand is that, believe it or not, all these people bought their first house,
Yep.
their second house, their third house on after-taxed money.
Boom.
Okay?
Yes.
So they're already behind.
Yep.
So they've already paid tax 100%, or at 47 cents in the dollar, most of them over the years. Going back to that original equation I said
Okay.
before, 47 weeks of the year for 47 hours a week, 47 weeks of the year
Yeah.
for 47 years, right? That equals 103,000 hours.
It's a lot of hours.
So for $10 an hour, that's 1.3 million. $20 an hour, 2.6 million. $30 an hour, 3.9 million.
I feel like I want to stop you right now and check the maths, but all right. Yeah. Okay, go on.
And so how much of that money did you want to keep? And these people learned how to keep that money.
And don't be critical of them.
No.
Okay? I'm not a boomer myself. I mean, I look at my parents' generation.
Yep.
I look at the way that they've, they worked bloody hard and they worked smart and they put this away. Now, yes, was it easier for them? Yes, it was.
No,
it
it's
was.
just as
No,
easy.
I disagree. It was absolutely easier for them. No. If
Yeah.
you take in
We didn't have the population.
but a house used to cost about 3 years of wages, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, for a boomer, generally speaking, that's the difference. And now, what are we're looking at? They're saying it's 8 times.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, it's more like 10.
If you got $100,000 a year and you're trying to buy a $1 million property, you both have to say. In Singapore, if you're going to buy a property,
Mhm.
it's over 5 generations.
Yeah, okay.
And so you take a loan. They're talking about doing
Wow.
generational loans here.
Yes, great.
And it only works in Sydney, by the way, at the moment, because that's the values.
Yeah,
But it's
insane.
ridiculous. You know, we can still.
Well, Perth is giving it a red hot go. Make no mistake about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been
Yeah.
a long time waiting,
Yeah.
too. It went through its hard times.
Yeah, thoroughly
I
agree.
mean, COVID woke it up.
in my opinion, okay, and I'm not an expert in all things related to this, but I think the Perth market is a minimum of 30% overvalued. I really genuinely do. I think it is. I was going to say 20, but then I think about it. No.
Will the bubble burst? And the answer is no, not at the moment.
Well,
Not for the next 2 to
it's
3
interesting
years.
you say that because, okay, with a lot of similarities, that has happened in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And 20% of the market has dropped off, and it's big problems for Canada in a lot of ways, and a lot of positives as well
Yeah.
because people can get into the market now. But our structural system has always been so different that can't happen here.
Yes.
And what they've just done is they've by changing the capital gains tax rules, they've put the last nail in the coffin. They've closed it out.
Oh, no,
Basically,
that's not the last nail in the coffin.
If you don't have parents, if you do not inherit,
Yeah.
you are screwed. You
right.
are absolutely screwed.
Yep. I'm one of those lucky ones that got to inherit.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
I was screwed before. So,
Right.
but we tried hard. We did everything we could.
Yep.
We thought we'd do the system. We worked it hard. It was not happening. We would rise money, lose money, and we're just continuously paying out. Like you said last week. Last week you made a really good statement, and I dwelled on it all week. My new business partner is Albanese.
Yeah.
Elvis, another sleazy. I mean, for God's sake,
But
leave
it's
us alone.
true. It is true. Okay, honestly, think about this. You start a business, you work hard, and I know that people have got different opinions of how businesses go, and people think, it'd be great. I can have my own business. I can work whatever hours I like, this, that, or no. You'll just work a lot more hours. You'll have a lot more stress. You'll lose a lot more hair, but some of us are just wired that way. And I was raised in a family.
I'm wired that way.
My family was always self-employed. And I almost felt like it should have, well, it did. It said, on my school reports, does not play well with others. So, like you've got to, you're drawn to these things. Now, when you're living your life that way and you're giving opportunities to people, employment opportunities, networking opportunities, this opportunities, experience opportunities, whatever. And then you have a government come and say, guess what? I want half of that. Right, you're killing yourself for this, and you're doing a positive thing. You're lifting the community, and I'm going to screw you for it. And no wonder, as I say, 2 weeks on, we're still talking about it, and we're still angry about it.
If they get this, and it's a big if though, they're looking at taking 67%. By the time you go through by the time you've paid your after tax, you buy a house with your after tax money, then they tax the money when it comes out of the trust account.
Yeah,
you're looking down the barrel of 67% tax on that property. So there is no incentive to sell.
No,
therefore there's no incentive to put the property back on the market for somebody else to buy. There's no incentive
to fulfill that supply and demand.
Absolutely. Why would you do it? The same with capital gains tax, and I say this all the time. If you want to avoid capital gains tax, don't sell.
Don't sell.
If you never sell it, you never have to pay the tax.
Yeah.
So we're looking at how to hold those properties. I'm lucky I've structured myself outside of all of this problem.
Sure. Okay.
So, and one day we'll sit down and we'll talk about it, and I'll bring a guy on and we'll have a yarn and a little bit deep dive on that one.
Awesome.
Because it's a way to get you out there. But we don't want everybody to know about it. It's bloody, it's hard enough out there.
Well, I think there's things that some people are going to be drawn to. They might be a bit complicated, but, others aren't.
History has shown us in Western Australia, believe it or not, this isn't our first rodeo where the government has tried to interfere with the GST and they backlashed on it back a while ago. I think it was about 2007.
It was around GFC time. So yeah.
It was big. And so the entire marketplace said, well, right?
Yep.
We'll just put our properties out there and the government can look after them. And they can look after the people that really shouldn't own a house anyway. In other words, the people that are tenants.
Sure.
And that was a threat. But we can't issue that threat now.
Why?
Because there's too many people in the market, and it's the foreign investment that's coming in.
Yeah.
It's going to snavel them up as quick as we put them on the market. So even if you wanted to get out of the market or threatened to say to the government, hey, well then that you look after the people that we're going to have tenants.
Yep.
You keep it all, and we won't even invest in the marketplace anymore. We'll find somewhere else to invest. And that's not going to happen because we've got 70 to 80 people right now wanting to buy that house. Here's something that I didn't know. I thought that the immigrants that were coming into the country would be buying below average or average style of home. No. I just was over in Swan Valley this week looking at the mansions and finding out that those people are selling out and the Indians are buying them.
Because what they do is they turn them into multi-generational homes, right?
Yes.
So, like, for argument's sake, and again, and I can get away with this because I have Indian heritage.
Yes.
So there you go. So I can actually tell the truth because so many people feel.
So does my mum. She's from London.
Well, there you go.
Sorry.
But no. I mean, but I have Indian heritage. Literally, okay. My father is a brown political refugee, right?
Right.
So I can say this, and I can say it very comfortably because people get so afraid to talk about it because of race. Oh my God, it's racist. It's racist. Yeah. No. Okay. Right now, a friend of mine selling a house in a particular suburb. The Indians are trying to get in there, and they want to buy all 7 houses that are currently available.
Oh
right?
My goodness!
And they're going to turn them all into multi-generational homes, right? So you're going to put 3 families in each home. Now, okay, it's not. It's great that I mean I look. Geez, I'm a bit torn on this because I do love the idea of family looking after family. I like that idea, right? But at the same time, that is by what they're doing. They're pushing the prices up in the neighbourhood, right? They're closing out the rental market for the people who are already here. And no, I'm sorry, we already have a shortage. We do not need to be importing more people. And
we need to be sending them back. Actually,
well, and I don't want to be.
Sam Bamford's stroking that.
Oh, he's got a lot going on. I tell you right now, and you could. Oh my God, we could have a conversation on that
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm getting at is whether you come in at the socioeconomic level of here or here, right? You're coming into this country. ultimately, right now is not the time to be doing it. I do want Australians to be a multicultural country from the point of view of people who come and assimilate and be part of our culture. I'm all for that. Improve our culture, fantastic. Take over our culture, no. There's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass.
Yeah,
gone, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem we have right now. And people will sell that as racism. I'm going to sell that as fact. You need to look after your own backyard first. You look after your own family first. And my family is Australian.
You can never be, you can only be a prophet in your own backyard before you can be a prophet to the world. And so therefore, therefore we need to start looking after ourselves, And, I read an article today that for my dad in Victoria before he died. We're going back 30 years.
Okay.
And I sat there and I read this article. He was talking about like he couldn't get welfare because it wasn't workers' comp and he couldn't breathe properly and all this.
Right.
And I sat there and I thought, God, you self-addicted prick. Seriously. All you had to do is eat properly, quit smoking, stop taking Beck's powder, stop drinking Coca-Cola, start putting nature back into your body and you will get better. And that's what I'm saying to everybody at the moment. If you want this country back, then be in a position or a fitness state that you can fight for it to get it back.
You are very much some of the fuel you put in your body.
Yes.
And this body being Australia as a country, if we are bringing fuel into this country, which is not, that's making us ping, mate, I tell you right now, and it's causing us problems, that is the wrong fuel.
Our food is the best. You have the ability to get the best vegetables, the best food in the world.
Well, no, because our government right now are so busy closing down farms and using red, green, and black tape to destroy our industry.
I agree on that, right? But we've still got the ability. You still got the ability to grow it in your own backyard.
True.
Which Victorians don't have.
Well, no,
they got into trouble for growing their own.
Who's got a backyard? Yeah. Well, in Victoria, in some parts of Victoria right now, it's illegal to do your own oil changes. What?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do your own. You can't fix your own car, right? And I mean, there's so many examples of all this. This is totalitarianism, right? This is
communism 101.
That is exactly right.
We're heading down that line.
All right.
And the way to do it is to bring in I'm not going to say it, but almost a dumbed down population into the society. And sorry, man.
No, you don't apologize.
When the Vietnamese came, right, and we saw all the hats, remember, across Wanneroo.
Absolutely.
And they were all picking strawberries.
Yep.
And they all lived in the same house.
Yep.
Which is what happened. They now all own their own homes. They now invested in society, and they own all the little delis and all the little shops. Sure. They work bloody hard.
Now, I'm going to go straight on that one, right? Okay. I have a number of Vietnamese friends. Quite a decent number,
but
actually.
They copped a fucking...
Yes, they did, right?
They were the hardest hit. They were the hardest...
You reckon?
Oh, they were the hardest hit racially because we'd just come out of Vietnam.
Yeah, okay, bad timing. Yeah. Okay, and you had Fraser doing his bit. From my point of view,
he sold our country out, man.
Totally sold it out. But where I was going to go on this one is that there's a great example of a population that came in through adversity, worked hard, built themselves up, but they became part of the Australian culture,
and they are Christian.
Well, yes, that is fundamentally that's definitely a thing. But where I was going to go on this is they've enhanced the culture; they haven't taken it over. Mm-hmm. Right, and what we're seeing today is very different.
Very different.
Very, very different.
Although on a positive side, right?
We want that.
All right, so I'm going to put a positive outlook.
Yep.
I'm going to put out a thank you to all of the young ladies that are Indian and other nations that are looking after us in our hospital system.
Okay. Because
they are doing an amazing job. They really are. They've got their own adversities.
Sure.
They've got their own problems, and they leave it at the door every day.
Okay.
And they look after our elderly.
Yep.
Our sick, and every day you go to any hospital, and you just walk around in there, and you can walk around freely, which is great in our country. And
you'd hope so,
and you have a look, and the girls in there They're just doing an amazing job.
Good to hear. Luckily, I can say I haven't been in hospital for a little bit, so I haven't noticed.
I thought you'd gone on the weekend because of because of that flu.
I did have the serious man flu, which as we can still hear.
Yeah,
but I don't care. Look, I had a really good weekend, so it didn't matter. Hey, guess what? We're almost at time, so let's do something very productive here. Let's talk about the nuts and bolts of what we were talking about originally. Here, we're going to talk about let's talk about the positives that we can pull out of the capital gains system. Is there anything?
Yes. All right. The positive is right now,
Yep.
because you've got 12 months, go get yourself a negatively geared house, okay?
Right. Okay. Excuse me.
Or avoid negatively geared. Bring any house to me and I'll show you how to turn it into a positively geared property.
Okay.
Every time you get a positively geared property, you are this much closer to freedom.
All right.
All right, because you don't need to work and leave the work for everybody else, okay? So
Yep.
that's fine. But if you've got negatively geared and you're buying now under the negatively geared process, work on how you can make that negatively geared property positively geared as quickly as you can.
All right.
By using the income, the money that you're using on your tax returns,
Sure.
put it back into the property, reinvesting into it.
Yep.
All right, make sure that always works for you. Talk to a good financial planner not financial planner. Find somebody that understands it.
Sure.
All right, somebody that's already doing it, do
Yep.
it the right way.
Yep.
Somebody like myself, if you like, that knows how to make that work.
Okay.
That's the positive. The outcome is never sell your property.
Yes, it's a tough one, isn't it?
No, unless, of course,
It's a complete change of psyche, in my opinion. Yeah.
because if you're going to go and buy a new property to get the negatively geared property,
Sure.
you got a 2-year wait
Yeah.
before you can claim anything, because it's going to be 2 years before you finish building that property.
That's right.
And who's paying the interest on that time? You've got no deduction.
You're being burned.
You're
aren't
being
you?
burned for that 2 years.
Yeah.
Cooked, absolutely like screwed, because you got 2 years. You're going to pay for the land,
Yep.
and then you got to pay all your payments on the way through, and then you got to download, and you got no income to offset. Nobody's thought about that at all. 2 years.
All right, mate. Well, people need to think about it. Now, people want to make changes. They want to actually talk to someone about it. Let's talk about how we get in contact with you.
All right, you can contact me through Edge Radio.
You certainly can.
All right, just go onto the Edge Radio thing, send us an email, and I will respond to it as quickly as I can.
And we make it very complicated. It's info@edgeradioaustralia.com.
What was that again?
Info
At edgeradio.com.
Yeah, edgeradioaustralia.com.
Oh, Edge Radio Australia.
Full title. We're very proud of being Australian here, right? So that's why it's Edge Radio Australia. We love our country. We're very, very proud of it, and we want to protect it and keep its sovereignty.
I'm looking forward to the day where we get rid of the word radio.
Yeah, to a bit of a degree. I mean, I love radio, but I do get it. I mean, we funny enough, good old Facebook memories came up today, and it was 6 years ago today that we were just building a studio in one of the bedrooms in my house.
Yes.
And I think, wow, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
Got to be pretty proud of
I
that.
think that's when I bought my car off of you.
Probably.
You needed the money.
That's probably what it was. Oh, no. It was longer than that, mate. You bought that car from me over 10 years ago.
Wow.
10, 12 years ago.
I
So it's been a long
can't sell
time.
it because I bought the money from the death of my brother.
Sentimental, mate.
Yeah, it is. So it just sits
exactly.
there.
And that's something very, actually, on a little real estate kind of
okay.
note. Okay, we talk about, not being sentimental about financial decisions, but if you've got a family home and you're investing in your family home, remember you're also investing in the memories of your family and the people you love that are in that house.
I'm
right?
living in my mother-in-law's house, so I've got all her memories at the moment.
Okay, there we go.
That's not fun.
That's
But it's good fun. I love it. I'm starting to.
Oh.
It's starting to become my home now,
Cool. And that's a very cool thing.
and that's it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to finish things up, but before I do, can you just give a little plug, because I've already forgotten the name of that
1111 Goldback
1111.
Crypto. Yeah, on the Ultraverse website. So come and find us. We will be putting it up on the screen
All right.
as we go along,
Cool.
and we'll be making some new ads to keep that going, and then get.
So
So it's basically an idea it's creating an alternative. Look, we've got CBCDs coming.
Yep.
Which means centralized digital banking systems. You can either live in the centralized.
You said it. I tell you, it almost you said like you said sexualized.
Sexualized.
Right, yeah,
digital system.
I mean they're very
gonna fuck
exciting,
you
but
over,
maybe
right?
not that
They're
exciting.
going to fuck you over.
Oh, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So you got the centralized digital system.
Yep.
You got a decentralized system
Sure.
coming. You choose which one you would rather be in.
Right.
You got a choice. You can be in the decentralized system,
Yep.
which will be still workable,
Okay.
using your XRPs and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you've got your centralized, which means that if you don't have a plan, the government's got one for you.
And on that bombshell, it's the end of the show. Thanks very much for being part of The Ordinary Guy. You're on Edge Radio Australia.
Stay strong.
Edge Radio.